Browns fans, welcome to Browns All Access. Nathan Zegura alongside Bernie Kosar. And Bernie, it is much more fun to be doing this after a performance like we saw on Sunday, 28-16, ending a three-game winning streak for the Falcons, a dominant win at home for the Browns.
A dominant win, well said. To come out with a game like that and to take a guy like Matt Ryan and really keep him irrelevant in the game and to head into the bye week with a dominant physical performance, getting a W, well done.
Yeah, it was great to see, and I think, you have to go back to, probably to 2014, Week 5. The Browns beat the Steelers 31-7 to see just a complete team win all three phases playing at high levels.
Right, offense, defense, special teams, not only the all three phases playing complementary football, but playing well-disciplined, self-disciplined football with real physical football, things like the goal line stand.
Yeah, all that toughness. Baker Mayfield, 17 of 20. He threw as many touchdowns, 3, as he had incompletions in the game and set an NFL record, Bernie, for a rookie quarterback, his quarterback rating the best in the history of the game for a rookie with 20 attempts in a game. Yeah, he woke up feeling dangerous. Hopefully we'll have a few more Sundays like that. Mayfield, Chubb, Denzel Ward, all playing at very, very high levels. So why wouldn't we want to sit down with the man who brought all of them to Cleveland and help get this roster on the path to week in and week out success, General Manager John Dorsey. Very happy to be joined by Browns General Manager John Dorsey. And just wanted to say, here we are 10 games into this season. Yep. How do you think everything's going?
Well, I think it's one of the first times in my, years of football that we've had a bye week this late into the season. But you know what? It's good. The player performance staff has done such a remarkable job this season in minimizing, the players and helping them in terms of recuperate after each game. It's a good way to go into a bye week with a win. There's a lot to build off of, and the one thing I always want to stress from a football standpoint is we got a lot of football left. We have 6 games left to do some things here to establish some wins moving forward. So winning is tantamount to any season, and we're going to continue to strive for wins week in and week out.
When you make a guy the #1 overall pick, the expectations are high. He seems to certainly be living up to those. What's your evaluation of what you've seen from Baker so far?
He's got a lot of football left. Very rarely does a rookie step in here and master the quarterback position. Nowhere in the NFL have you really seen that. He's played well, but you know what? He's got a lot of football left. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot to master this season. 1 or 2 games don't make a season, but as long as you see continual development week in and week out, that's what you build off of.
You've seen a lot of great quarterback play in your tenure in the National Football League. When you see him go out there, 17 of 20, he has as many incompletions as he does touchdown passes. That's got to give you a good feeling about what he's been able to accomplish.
No, what makes me excited is to watch kids have fun, win a football game, and believe in the process. That's what makes me excited, because at the end of the day, it's about winning. And, we played a good team last week, and they're pretty good. And, now you got to build off of that. They get a week to kind of, have a little space in there, but then they have to focus on the task at hand, which is the Cincinnati Bengals.
The early returns on a lot of these guys that are rookies have been very, very positive. What can you tell our fans about guys that you've drafted that really haven't seen the field much, Austin Corbett and Chad Thomas?
I think those guys are going to be really good football players. And, with regards to Austin Corbett, he's got 3 guys that are really good football players in front of him. And when it comes time for him to seize the moment, he'll seize it. You know when it is. Likewise with Chad Thomas. He's got a lot of good football players in front of him. He'll see the field eventually, and then people will begin to see what those 2 guys can do, because I really think those guys are good football players.
You hear there, that's the architect of this Browns football side, and you look at some of the pieces that he's brought in. We mentioned them before, Baker and Chubb, and of course Denzel Ward, Callaway, Jannard, Avery, all these rookies contributing, veterans like Demarius Randall, and you just look at the state of this franchise. You've got your franchise quarterback on a rookie deal, you have a premier pass rusher on a rookie deal, and it's only his 2nd year, and you have a lockdown corner on his rookie deal. So the pieces are in place.
Not just the influx of great draft picks, which is easier said than done to be able to do that, but the influx of veteran leaderships with the ability to manage the salary cap has put us in a really solid fundamental situation, to the point where if you had a group of people that you wanted to look at what team would you want to have in terms of your core players, you definitely have to take a look at the Cleveland Browns.
There are very few key contributors on this football team that are not still on their rookie deals or just early into their second deals, and I think that is very exciting. It's a young team with a lot of potential, and as Joel Bitonio said, it's not everything that we have Baker, but it's everything because, as you well know, Bernie, the quarterback, the most important position in all of professional sports, and we'll be back with more Browns All Access right after this. After the break, Chief David Njoku was mic'd up for the win against the Falcons.
Come on, man. This game ain't over yet, y'all boys. Come on.
And JC Tretter walks us through Nick Chubb's record-setting touchdown.
Touchdown! Chubb Hub!
Welcome back to Browns All Access. Nathan Zegura, the legend Bernie Kosar. Bernie, another one of the young players. Tight end David Njoku having a breakout season in his second year. I know you like him. He's from the U after all. How have you seen his development and what kind of a weapon can he become?
I, again, don't want to get over-biased being with the U, and to see him making the jumps he is. And I know sometimes people have maybe gotten a little frustrated and talked about the drops and things of that nature. His ability now and his confidence, his enthusiasm in the locker room, I think it is contagious, as a phrase we've been using quite a bit this year, and it's really rubs off. And then for him to be a kind of a good influence like that off the field, and then to start making plays on the field, his blocking's getting better, becoming a core all-around better player.
Absolutely. He's had a streak of games of over 50 yards this year, the longest of his career. He's improved as a blocker, and his hands, that's the thing, those contested catches in tight areas, he has been excellent at that this year. Now let's learn more about the man we call the Chief, David Njoku, in our Player Spotlight, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Browns football today, and here we go at a sunny First Energy Stadium.
We were excited, going into the game. We knew what we had to do. I was, just trying to have some fun, Obviously, we've struggled a little bit throughout the year. This game yesterday was one of the first games that I felt, that we were in the driver's seat the whole game. We dominated in all aspects, offense, defense, and special teams, and it was really fun to do that.
Chiefs, man. One time. Come on. One time. Make. You might do it better than me.
So yeah, let's talk about the game a little bit. A couple funny things. When you were sitting next to Seth and something was in his teeth and you had to use a towel.
Oh my God! Yeah, that.
How many games we have left? You got something on your teeth, man. It's something yellow.
I think it's orange.
Oh,
at halftime.
Okay.
He was like, it's probably like an orange. Like, it's fine, don't worry about it. And when he said that, I'm still looking at the yellow thing or whatever it was. And I'm like, bro, get that out. Get here. This is your towel. You get that out right now.
Oh, that stuck up in there, man. Man, get the man.
I'm not taking my gloves off right now.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to.
Give me a toothpick.
Nah, I got you right here, fam. This is your towel now.
This is love.
Come on.
It was painful to watch, but that's what real friends are for, to help you through those moments.
Hey, David, run. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mayfield under center, play action fake, looks, fires down the middle, and Njoku made a catch. He pulled it right away from a Falcon, out to the 45, to the 47, to the 48-yard line. What a great play by Njoku for 19 yards.
Hey, it feels fun winning, huh? It feels fun winning, huh? Oh, you saw me?
It's fun winning, that's for sure. It's not too fun losing. I'm really excited, we definitely can make a big run, I have high hopes for these last games, and we're really excited,
Come on! Let's go!
and I think we're all dialed in and ready to go. So it's a very exciting time.
What's up, guys? I'm Allie Raymond, and this is your Social Minute, where we show you the best of what happened on social media this week. Starting, of course, with Power Home and punter Britton Colquitt in their hilarious commercial. A lot of things going on in this one. Talking dogs, super punts, flossing. Kids, I don't know what flossing is, but you should do it to your teeth. Another player got some love online this week. Running back Nick Chubb had a viral moment with our favorite offensive line coach, Bob Wiley.
I was over there like just to check in on the team, see what guys are up to. He's like, you need to sit.
Hey, sit down.
No,
You gotta play, sit down.
I mean, I had no room whatsoever, and I was like more uncomfortable sitting down.
And finally, quarterback Baker Mayfield took to the podium after his stellar performance against the Falcons to let everyone know how he woke up that morning.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous. I just woke up feeling real dangerous.
Well, we certainly hope that Baker wakes up feeling dangerous every game day. I'm Allie Raymond, and this was your Social Minute.
Still to come, JC Tretter talks about working with offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens, and general manager John Dorsey gives his outlook for the final 6 games of the regular season. Welcome back to Browns All Access. Nathan Zegura, Bernie Kosar, and Bernie, the offensive line has played very well this year, but I'd say the last 2 weeks, Greg Robinson going in at left tackle, we've seen a real change. This past Sunday against Atlanta, Baker Mayfield was not sacked. Probably one of the reasons why he was so efficient. But what have you seen from this group up front?
Well, I think you're exactly right. Greg Robinson coming in as a veteran guy at left tackle, I think has solidified the continuity of the offensive line a little more. That's not to take shots at Harrison as a young guy. I like kind of his balance and his abilities to kind of learn. But Robinson coming in with the abilities of the guard and center to handle this line of scrimmage in the center of the pocket is really meshed real well from the protection standpoint, but also as we've seen with Nick Chubb in running the ball standpoint.
Absolutely. Nick Chubb running off a 92-yard run last week, the longest run in Browns history. And when you think of all the great backs who have worn the brown and orange, that really says something. Any good running back will tell you it starts up front, and the quarterback of the offensive line, Browns center JC Tretter. And I sat down with him earlier to talk about this new offense under offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens. Here we are in the beautifully decorated offensive line room with Browns starting center JC Tretter. JC, congrats on the win. Obviously a big one. How did it feel on the field going through that game against the Falcons?
Honestly, it was great. To be able to run the ball like we did, protect the quarterback like we did, those are the two things we set out to do each and every week. And that was probably the most complete game we've had in a while. I mean, no sacks, 200 yards rushing, about as good as you can ask for.
There goes Chubb. He's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shabba-lubba hub.
The longest run in the history of the Cleveland Browns. When you think about the fact that Jim Brown was a Cleveland Brown, that covers a lot of ground. What's it like to be a part of something on a play like that?
It's always awesome. I mean, as an offensive lineman, you always like the long touchdown. Shortens the drive, you get back to the sidelines, get able to sit down for a little bit. Chubb's been able to come out and hit really 3 long runs this year, and those are just awesome for the offensive line.
So I want to know this. When was the last time you snapped a ball with 4 people behind you?
Geez, I think never. I don't think I've ever done it, but that was a nice little wrinkle that we put in this week, and it was pretty successful for 1 week of practice for getting it, giving the defense a different look and kind of be able to do a bunch of different things out of it. It was a nice little package that we had built over the week. I mean, that was a lot of the kind of the brainchild of Freddie, and it was honestly successful.
You've obviously played with one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. 10 games into Baker Mayfield's career. Not saying compare them, but does he have some of those traits, and what have you seen from him in his development?
A lot of confidence. Same thing as A-Rod, and I think you see that touchdown to Higgins. I mean, that is a tough throw to make, rolling right, throwing somewhat across his body, and putting it right on the mark. I mean, that's an impressive throw of the football, and that's something that I think Baker really succeeds with and has that most people don't.
All right, I want to talk about just your toughness, your commitment to this team, because obviously we've known there were a few weeks there where you weren't practicing at all, and yet you were going out there and gutting out on Sunday. So what did it mean to you to be out there with your team, and how are you feeling now?
A little sore. I give a lot of credit to the training staff. It's been a battle each week, and they do a great job of taking care of me, making sure I can get back to as close to 100% as I can each week. It's one of those things, you don't want to miss games, you don't want to miss snaps. You want to be out there with your brothers and with your team. So it's been one thing I said from the beginning, I wanted to play every snap and play all 16 games. It's something I was able to do last year, and the beginning of my career I had plenty of injuries that I kind of want to avoid from here on out. So I want to be out there as much as possible.
A great offensive line, also a quarterback's best friend. We mentioned Baker was not sacked in this game against the Falcons. How important is that for a quarterback to know when you drop back, you're going to have time to go through your reads and deliver the football?
Yeah, how ironic is it that we're interviewing the middle of the pocket for our quarterback here? The center of the pocket, especially for someone like myself who was a lot slower. But Baker Mayfield, a lot's been talked about his height. And when you have a height issue, I don't think it's as big an issue as people make it out to be. That being said, it's imperative you have the center of the pocket taken care of. And the Browns have done as good a job as most teams in the league this year at taking care of solidifying the middle of the pocket.
I think they were saying, look, play fast and free, play dangerous. That's what Baker Mayfield did, and we'll try to be dangerous for you when we wrap up Browns All Access next. When we return, General Manager John Dorsey tells us what to look for in the final 6 games of the season. Welcome back to the bye week edition of Browns All Access. Nathan Zegura and Bernie Kosar. Bernie, the guys got the week off after the victory from head coach Greg Williams. So what's the player's mindset in a bye week?
You hear a lot of times people say it's a good time for the bye week. This is a late bye week this year, so from a rest and physical standpoint, guys definitely need it. Yeah, the momentum's going strong. You don't want to break the momentum. But I think guys right now need to kind of get their body back under control. And if Sunday is indicative of things to come ending the season, that physical, aggressive play that beat the Atlanta Falcons is the type of game and type of play that I love to see us finish up through Thanksgiving and through the month of December and through the holidays. Physical play and a little rest will do us well.
I certainly hope so. These final 6 games will tell a lot about this Browns team and where it can perhaps springboard to in 2019. To cover that and the rest of the year, here's General Manager John Dorsey.
We talked about kind of the boxes that have been checked over these first 10 weeks. What are the areas that you want to see improve here over these final 6 games?
Well, I'll be very blunt here. I've seen development in special teams. I want to see more development from the overall special teams. I think in the last 2 weeks, I think from a schematic standpoint, I think Freddie's done a nice job of reducing the number of sacks that the quarterback has had, and I think that's important to do. I just want to see continued development. I want to see guys coach, the coaches developing young guys. And I will see the emphasis on, we have 6 games left here. Let's establish a winning pattern here. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, the Browns have an opportunity to do something very special when they return from the bye, and that is put together their first winning streak in many years and get their first road victory in many years. How important is it for you to see these guys have this time off, recharge, come back focused, and go handle their business in Cincinnati?
Well, it's always good to recharge, but then you have to be focused at the task at hand when you get into game week preparation. And I think last week they actually understood that, all this hard work, this effort, this plan, does pay off. And now what you got to see is collectively as a group, are they forging forward with the same mindset and the same goals to end this season out strong?
All right, so you joined this organization roughly about a year ago, give or take a couple of weeks. You were here for the final 4 games of last year. Now, obviously, there was a big change in the middle of this season. Greg Williams now your head coach, Freddie Kitchens now your offensive coordinator. Kind of what led you to that decision point, and how comfortable are you with what you've seen in 2 weeks with your new staff?
Well, first, I think regarding the last 2 weeks, I think Greg's done a really nice job. And he's done a really nice job of keeping the team focused on the sole task of winning. And I think that's really important. I think Freddie Kitchens has done a really nice job in terms of creating a game plan and executing it on game day. So all in all, I think the team has, they've kind of come together here a little bit these last 2 weeks, but all in all, I think those guys have done a really nice job.
And I'm sure you have talked to these guys, but if you could say anything to the players over these final 6 games about showing you and showing this organization how important it is to them to be Cleveland Browns, what would you say?
It's not about showing me. It's about showing the Cleveland Browns and the community of Cleveland that, you know what, be proud to be a Cleveland Browns, because this thing is getting ready to get started.
Yes, a lot of opportunity still out there for the Browns in these final 6. I've said all along, this year's about the nurturing and development of Baker Mayfield. I think we're seeing positive signs there. I say go out and win some more football games. There are some winnable games on the schedule now.
Absolutely. And yes, the nurturing and development of Baker Mayfield is an imperative goal for the team. That being said, if I'm a player or a coach, this is a business, and you must go out there and anticipate winning football games, because the eye in the sky is always judging us. And the guys who play physical, the guys that don't cash it in, the guys that want to get W's these last 6 games, these are the guys that are going to be part of the Cleveland Browns in 2019.
And now for you to stay up to date on your Browns, subscribe to all of our social media channels, our YouTube channel, keep it tuned to clevelandbrowns.com and the Browns mobile app. And for the latest on this lovely man, go to kozar19.com. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Browns All Access. Enjoy the bye week, and let's go Browns.